Hello and welcome to AJ Storytime channel for kids. If you are new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the little bell so you receive the notifications of when I'm reading live. Today, our story time is based on the author name Kevin Henkes. So we are going to be reading books from Kevin Henkes. And the first book is called Shayla Ray, The Brave by Kevin Henkes. Please don't forget to subscribe before you leave today. And parents, remember that the books that I'm reading are the books that needs to be read to your child before they go into kindergarten. I'm reading 1,000 books that you shall need to read before kindergarten, okay? So don't forget that. Shayla Ray wasn't afraid of anything. She wasn't afraid of the dark. She wasn't afraid of thunder and lightning. And she wasn't afraid of the big black dog at the end of the block. At dinner, Shayla Ray made believe that the cherries in her fruit cocktail were the eyes of a dead bears, and she ate 5 of them. At school, Shayla Ray giggled when the principal walked by. And when her classmate Wendell stole her jump rope during recess, Shayla Ray tied him up until the bell rang. I am very brave, Shayla Ray said, patting herself on the back. Shayla Ray stepped on every crack in the sidewalk. When her sister Louise said there was a monster in the closet, Shayla Ray attacked it. And she rode her bicycle no-handed with her eyes closed. Yeah, yeah, Shayla Ray, her friends yelled, clapping their hands. One day, Shayla Ray decided to walk home from school a new way. Louise was afraid too. You are too brave for me, Louise said. You are always such a scary cat, Shayla Ray called. I'm not, whispered Louise. Shayla Ray started off skipping. I am brave, she sang. I'm fearless. She stepped on every crack. She walked backwards with her eyes closed. She growled at stray dog and bared her teeth at stray cats. And she pretended that the trees were evil creatures, and she climbed up them and broke their fingers off. Snap, snap, snap. Shayla Ray walked and walked. She turned corners. She crossed streets. It suddenly occurred to Shayla Ray that nothing looked familiar. Shayla Ray heard frightening noises. She heard frightening noises. They sounded worse than thunder. She thought horrible thoughts. They were worse than anything she had ever imagined. I am brave, Shayla Ray tried to convince herself. I'm fearless. The sound became more frightening. The thoughts became more horrible. Shayla Ray sat down on a rock and cried. Help, she sniffed. She thought of her mother and her father and Louise. Mother, father, Louise, she cried. Here I am, a voice said. Louise, Shayla Ray hugged her sister. We are lost, Shayla Ray said. No, we're not, said Louise. I know the way home. Follow me. Louise stepped on every crack. She walked backward with her eyes closed. She growled at stray dogs and bared her teeth at stray cats. And she pretended that the trees were evil creatures. She jumped up and broke their fingers off. Snap, snap, snap. Shayla Ray walked quietly behind her. They walked and walked. They crossed the street. They turned the corners. Soon their house could be seen. the trees, Sheila Ray grabbed Louise and dashed up the street. When they reached their own yard and the gate was closed behind them, Sheila Ray said, Louise, you are brave. You are fearless. We both are, said Louise, and they walked backwards into the house with their eyes closed. The end. Such a nice story, right, guys? Sheila Ray, the brave. Now, Louise was the brave. I have one more book, and remember, we are reading books from Kevin Henkes. This one is called A Good Day. Today was a good day. How was your day today? Can you tell your mommy and your daddy? It was a bad day. Little yellow bird lost his favorite tail feather. Little white dog got her leash all tangled up in the fence. Little orange fox couldn't find his mother. They are having a bad day, guys. And little brown squirrel dropped her nut. But then, I wonder what happened, guys. Little brown squirrel found the biggest nut ever. Nice. Little orange fox turned around and there was his mother. Oh, how sweet. Little white dog worked herself free and ran in circles through the dandelions. And little yellow bear forgot about his feather and flew higher than ever had before. And there is more. A little girl spotted a perfect yellow feather, picked it up, tucked it behind her ear, and ran to her mother shouting, Mama, what a good day! Wow, look at that. You see how the day can go from bad to good? I have one more book. It's called My Garden. Remember that we are reading books from Kevin Henkes. By the way, I love this story right here. I read it like a couple of times already, and I don't get tired of reading it. It's a very beautiful story. My mother has a garden. I am her helper. I water, I weed, and I chase away the rabbits so that they don't eat all the lettuce. It's hard work, and my mother's garden is very nice. But if I had a garden, and this is where everything gets really good, there will be no weeds, and the flowers will keep blooming and never die. In my garden, the flowers could change color just by me thinking about it. Pink, blue, purple, even patterns. And if you pick a flower, another one will grow right back in its place. In my garden, the rabbits wouldn't eat the lettuce because the rabbits will be chocolate and I will eat them. If I planted seashells, I'll grow seashells. If I planted jelly beans, I'll grow a great big jelly bean bush. Sometimes in my garden, good unusual things will just pop up. Buttons, an umbrella, and rusty old keys. In my garden, there will be birds and butterflies by the hundreds, so that the air was humming with wings. The tomatoes will be as big as the beach balls, and the carrots will be invisible because I don't like carrots. At night, the morning glories will stay open, shining like stars, and the strawberries will glow like lanterns. It's night now. Only the fireflies and the porch light are glowing. Before bed, I take one seashell from the shelf in my room and go to the garden. I poke the seashell into the ground. Who knows what might happen? I cover it up with dirt and pack down the dirt with my foot. What are you doing? Asked my mother. Oh, nothing, I say. Just working in the garden. The end. I always love this book. It's such a beautiful story, right, guys? I have one more book for you. And remember, we read books from Kevin Henkes. This is such an amazing author. I really enjoy his books. This one is called Kitten's First Full Moon by Kevin Henkes. And if you haven't read these books, you need to read it. You need to read 1,000 books before you go into kindergarten. And once you get there, you're going to be able to read. You're going to learn so many new words. Your teacher's going to be so happy. It was Kitten's first full moon when he saw it. She thought, there is a little bowl of milk in the sky, and she wanted it. So she closed her eyes and stretched her neck and opened her mouth and licked. But Kitten only ended up with a bug on her tongue. Poor Kitten. Still, there was the little bowl of milk just waiting. So she pulled herself together and wiggled her bottom and sprang from the top step of the porch. But Kitten only tumbled, bumping her nose and banging her ear and pinching her tail. Poor Kitten. Still there was the little bowl of milk just waiting. So she chased it down the sidewalk, through the garden, past the field, and by the pond. But Kitten never seemed to get closer. Poor Kitten. Still, there was the little bowl of milk just waiting. Guys, do you know what is the bowl of milk that she thinks that is the bowl of milk? Do you know what that is? So she ran to the tallest tree she could find, and she climbed and climbed and climbed to the very top. But Kitten still couldn't reach the bowl of milk, and now she was scared. Poor Kitten. What could she do? Then in the pond, Kitten saw another bowl of milk, and it was bigger. What a night! Do you guys know what is that already? Did you say the moon? Yes, good job. So she raced down the tree and raced through the grass and raced to the edge of the pond, and she leaped with all her might. Poor Kitten, she was wet and sad and tired and hungry. So she went back home. I feel so bad for her. She thought that the moon was a cup of milk. And there was a great big bowl of milk on the porch. Oh, just waiting for her. Great, finally. Lucky Kitten. She thought that the moon was the bowl of milk all along, and she tried to get to it, but guess what? She had it at home. I hope that you enjoyed the story time for today. Remember that today we read books from Kevin Henkes, and don't forget to subscribe if you like my story time. Goodbye.